Mr. México Smith, president of brith.
Honorary president of the brith.
All right. You are here in Mexico in the commemoration of Holocaust and Gilberto Bosques, who fought against for the human rights. Tell us a little bit about your visit.
I came to Mexico. It's become a tradition for me to come to Mexico on the occasion of remembrance of the Holocaust. It's a very, very important commemoration because it grew from 3 or 4 years ago from small event into now an event that's held in the Chamber of Deputies and in the Senate.
And in the ONU also?
I'm sorry?
It was also in the ONU, in the Nations Unidas, United Nations, it was also celebration.
Yes.
And in many schools, universities, and many places.
But I think that you don't want to lose sight of the fact that Jews can commemorate the Holocaust remembrance whenever they want and wherever they want in their schools and in their institutions. The real story here in Mexico is that now we commemorate the Holocaust in the Chamber of Deputies and in the Senate. And the reason for the importance, it takes Holocaust remembrance past the Jewish community, and by having it in the Senate and by having it in the Chamber of Deputies, it makes Holocaust remembrance part of the people of Mexico. That's the important feature and that's the important message. So,
what's the job of brith in all of this and around the world with many other things that do?
Let's talk about this occasion for the moment. B'nai Brith has been active in encouraging countries around the world to observe Holocaust remembrance. As you know, the United Nations in New York has Holocaust remembrance functions. B'nai Brith annually sponsors, B'nai Brith International annually sponsors a Holocaust remembrance program at the United Nations in New York. And we encouraged the government of Mexico 4 or 5 years ago to do the same here. It took some time, but now the commemoration is done here properly. Also, B'nai Brith has been very, very active in encouraging other governments in Central and Latin America to also hold days of Holocaust remembrance.
But the work of B'nai Brith is not just only commemoration.
No, the work of B'nai Brith covers a wide area of things. We, of course, do Israel advocacy at the United Nations, at the Organization of American States, at the United Nations Human Rights Council in Geneva, at the UN in New York, at the Council of Europe, at the European Union. This is one of the main thrusts of B'nai Brith's work. Because we have members and leadership in more than 50 countries around the world, B'nai Brith takes a role in doing Israel advocacy. We're also...
Tell me a little bit about one of that jobs that people can remember or can see. It was job of B'nai Brith in favor of Israel or in favor of Jewish
Let's
people.
talk about Zionism is racism, for example. It's very familiar to the people here in Mexico. We work tirelessly at the UN in New York with the different representatives from the nation countries to work towards getting a consensus to reverse the resolution on Zionism as racism. We continue to be active in work such as that, in promoting Israel advocacy and advocacy on behalf of the Jewish people worldwide.
In America?
In America, of course, we are involved very much in the seniors program. We do senior advocacy. For example, now we were busy doing advocacy work on behalf of Social Security in the United States. We have 40 senior residences, buildings across the U.S. where we serve more than 6,000 elderly residences, elderly occupants, and give them a assisted living environment to make their lives a little bit better.
In Mexico,
In Mexico, the bnai brith program here takes on a various array of things. It's done by the local lodge, the Espinosa Lodge here in Mexico. There are social programs that go on here. There was a dental program that went on here in the latter years. And the bnai brith in Mexico continues to do the work of the typical bnai brith lodge and unit from around the world.
Something you want to tell the youth, the people who see as our site about bnai brith, the work of bnai brith, invite them.
Bnai brith this year will celebrate 170 years of existence. Bnai brith is the world's oldest and largest Jewish organization, and in fact, before there was a Red Cross, there was bnai brith. Before some of the illustrious worldwide institutions, bnai brith was in existence. And you also have to remember that the organized Jewish communal system, the federation system, came much later than bnai brith. And in the early days, bnai brith built hospitals, built orphanages. We've been more than 100 years in Israel. We've been since Confederation in Canada. And we continue to do work on behalf of the Jewish people and on behalf of those less fortunate than ourselves. So as we celebrate 170 years, if you're not involved with bnai brith, it's time to be involved with bnai brith again.